You see my notebook. Let me make this bigger because I can make it bigger. Exactly the description of the repository. Yeah. Don't zoom this much. Okay. So yeah, how do I do this? Come on, go back a bit. I don't know how are they doing this, but this line, okay. So friend A pays rupees 300, right? B and C are involved, right? It's very blurry. Maybe I should. Yeah, much better. Yeah, friend A pays rupees 300, B and C are involved. And is split equally, so they owe rupees 100 and then rupees 100, right? And so if we have a doc type that is tracking each of these transactions, and so it creates a transaction that friend A has paid 300 rupees, right? Somewhere, right? It's linked to an expense, right? Expense A, B, whatever, right? And then it also reflects in B and C's ledger. So I'm going very simple. B 100. He isn't paid, so I will denote it with minus. I want to model some kind of ledger, right? I hope you get my point, what I'm trying to make here. This is linked to the same expense, but so this is a different type of entry, right? So to A, right? Owed to A. This doesn't apply here, but here it is owed to A. Okay. Okay, then one more because C also was 100, same reference. So this is kind of a reference voucher, right? If we are comparing or deriving stuff from ERP next, he also owes A. Okay. And then suppose B makes a payment of 150 rupees. A and C now owe 50 and 50. So again, how will that reflect in the ledger? This I'm trying a non-running ledger, so it's not maintaining any balance or anything. It's just recording every transactions, and when we want the balance, we'll have to do some sort of computations. So now B has paid 150 to some expense B, C, D. This doesn't apply. A and C they both owe 50 to B. Okay. So now I want to know how much B owes A, right? This was the question all along. And for that, can we use this ledger? That's so I tried one form of ledger and then I will see if it makes it easier to get this data. So which are the things that involve B and A? So this is one, like B and A both, right? So not this one, right? This one involves B and A, and this one involves B and A, right? These are the two transactions, and can this two? So this one was B owed, so B minus 100 A, and then we have A minus 50 B. So this was B owes A, and this is A owes B. So if I flip this, right, because then I can flip this as well and then join. So this will be minus 50. Minus represents this transaction, which means B owes A 50 rupees. Is it correct? In my mind, it is working. So is it correct or not? Yes, right. This thing works. We'll try one more approach. Let's see. Hmm. So you can calculate, right? B was supposed to pay 100 and then now it has to pay 50. Very clear. The second approach, right? The one I was talking, which is used in Frappe Cloud. That approach is uh so the same example. So friend A pays 300, B and C owe 100 and 100. In that case, hmm, I think in here we even don't need this entry where this is just uh O register, we can call it. How who owes what to whom. Second approach, so we did this calculation, right, to find out. So what we can do is we had a friends mapping, right? Friends mapping. But is that useful here? Hmm, not sure. Oh, okay. This approach, we didn't discuss one case where was settlement, right? When they settle, let's say B paid directly, right? B paid A 50 rupees. So how will we record it here? Yeah, easily it can be recorded, right? So we can say B minus 50, some reference of settlement A. So now this is also a transaction that is involving B and A both, right? So B minus 100 A minus 50 B minus 50 A. Oh, O's. This is not O's, this is paid. So plus 50, and this reverses, so B A 50, and this becomes 0. Okay, fine. This works out. Now I was thinking of the other one where it maintains balances. Okay, I'm not sure if this approach will work. So what will we track and where will we track it? This sounds good. So what happens is whenever like expense gets created, for each row in the table, right? Like whenever it's submitted, so we'll do it on submit. So on cancel, we can then reverse if required. So okay. 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 Fine. Let's try this one. Let me switch back to yeah. So a notebook helps, right? Like it helps me think. And then yeah. So let's implement it, and then if we again hit a roadblock, we'll come here. Doc type, I have to go into admin login. Okay. Create a doc type, it will be submittable expense ledger entry or split ledger entry. Batwara. Yeah. So what all fields do we need? We need amount for sure. There is no okay. Non-negative mandatory currency that we will add here. It can be negative as well, right? That's how we modeled it. Then what else? A reference expense. maybe. Or the expense for which they owe it, right? So it can be settlement as well, but we'll come to that later. Expense, expense. Okay. And then who owes who, right? That can be another section. So link. Can we use credit debit here? Credit debit. Credit credit user. Debit user. For now I'll use this. And we'll add a short description. Yeah. Who what? Who owes? To whom? Okay. And this both are mandatory. Okay. Makes sense. Larab says any other idea to work off. Instead of this, can we create the condition who has created the ledger has created the amount by default? Uh, who has created the entry, right? Like, but we don't know, right? It can be created anywhere in mobile app, anywhere. So we can't depend on the creation thing. Okay, let's create, like we have to create it on the fly, right? Uh, so let me delete this to expense or let it be. So now what I will do is I will submit this, right? And I will write the logic and then we'll submit. Fine. So now backend again. Expense. Expense.py. So before save is fine. Def on submit self dot. Hmm, create split create ledger entries, right? Def create ledger entry self pass. Okay. So this should create ledger entries, but how? So go over each split for split in self dot splits. right? And, so we'll take a break at around 1:10. Let's see. So we don't have to create ledger entry for this user itself. We can, but we don't. Like we can create an entry. Okay, he is the guy who owes and he is the guy who has to pay. So null effect, but if we want entry for everything, then that's fine. But for now, I won't. If split dot user, right, equal self dot paid by. This is the guy who paid, right? Then continue to the next iteration. Otherwise, we will do our logic of frappe dot new doc. Frappe isn't imported. Format imports. Go ahead. Yeah. Frappe dot new doc. Split ledger entry and ledger entry dot. So let's go to ledger entry amount. Okay, that will be split dot amount and currency will be split dot currency le dot credit user. So who owes, right? This guy owes. Split dot user to whom? Debit user is self dot who paid this expense. And then le dot expense we can link to be this self dot name. Le dot insert. Makes sense. Okay. Let's do this. And then we want to dot submit as well. Insert submit. Cool. Let's do it. I will submit this. It's got submitted. How do I check that? So what we can do is we can use good a nice feature of framework split. So what this will do is this will let us jump directly from here. So two entries were created. So friend one owes build with Hussain 300. Nice. So now we are maintaining a split ledger entry. Cool. Cool. So now how do we derive the summary? That's so what we did in paper, we just have to do it in computation here now. Let's format imports again. Should we push a comment? Okay, yeah, let's push it. Feed split ledger. I by the way, I haven't I just kept thinking about this app, but I didn't prepare anything just before the hackathon today morning. Just because I couldn't sleep at that time, and then I slept, and then I couldn't wake up till 7:55. But yeah, happens. So now we have proper ledger entries. How do we get the summary, right? That's the question. Let's open up bench dash dash site. pat.localhost console. Yes. Frappe dot. So suppose I want to find out. So let's do one more thing. Let's submit this as well. So now there are multiple entries. So in total, friend one owes 800 rupees, right? This 500 and this 300. So let's see if we can get that 800 computationally here. My water is over, so I'll have to go down and bring it. That's fine. So everything is in the ledger now. So we are free from like going into the expense child table, figuring it out. Yeah. So, okay. I'm just thinking if I can use just single get all to do this. Probably will require two of this, but fine. Split ledger entry. By the way, I can do this in one SQL query as well, but that's fine later on. Premature or optimization is the root of all evil. I am feeling so. What is this feeling called? Sleepy or exhausted? Bamba Gazari. Thank you so much for sharing. Nice. Hopefully, someone will find this streams useful. I don't know. I just thought if I'm doing it sitting at my desk for hours, why not? Can in Frappe install external packages like NumPy, Pandas, etc.? Yes. So instead of pip install, do pip install pandas. And don't forget to add that to your pyproject.toml file. So anyone who installs your app also gets those packages automatically installed. Maybe I should create a video on it because that's like a common doubt. But yeah, let's proceed. So I have to apply filters. So what did we say? We want to find out. So debit user. So I want to find out who owes me, right? Build with Hussein art. No, I want to find out how much friend one owes me, right? So credit user is friend one dot email dot com. Okay, see. So now if I sum this two, I will get the thing I want. I can submit directly here or submit in the Python side. If I want to directly submit, then okay, fine, let's submit. ₹800, right? We can group by currency as well if like we want to support multi-currency going forward. But yeah, this is 800. But this will fail once we create an expense where friend one has paid and build with Hussein. Friend one has paid, let's say 500 rupees. Description is shoes. And now there is one ledger entry where this is reversed, right? Now this guy owes 250. So that should also reflect in the net. So this should, so 250 should be subtracted. That's easy. We'll get the reverse of it, which is the debit user becomes this and the credit user becomes this. Okay, now it's simple. It's not very complicated, but okay, none. Fine. What did I do? Oh, wait. I know what happened. Yeah. So now this 250 and that 200, that 800. So we want to know who owes whom what, right? So we can easily find that out now. Cool, let's write it in code somewhere. So I'll create a new utils file. Come on. Yeah. So in batwara, I'll create a utils.py file. Let's do a simple get summary for user, right? This can be whitelisted method. Let's import Frappe and for session user, right? Whoever is logged in, give me his summary. Let's rename this to api.py. Okay. Current user equal to frappe dot session dot user. Okay, format imports. Now what I want is this get all right. This is uh, yeah. So if you see this debit user will become current user, right? So can we find out, okay, instead of this, right? What if I remove this filter and group by the credit user? Yeah, this gives me for both. So this friend owes 800 and this friend owes 200. Much better, right? Then we save a lot of DB queries. Group by credit user. So whoever owes this guy something will show up. Owe to user. And then the second is user owes to. That will just be almost same. Oh, the currency becomes credit user. Or we can do currency as well because mostly it is same right now, but later on multi-currency this will horribly fail. assuming all transactions in same currency, which is true right now but won't be. So then we do a get all. I don't know it will be useful, but I use extension pylance. Python is Microsoft Rich on parameter function. Yeah, pylance. I have also installed it. Now it will be credit user is this and group by debit user. And then this also becomes debit user. Nice. So now this will give us a list which is like owed to the user, and this is owed by the user. Now we have to process this too and find the net summary. Okay, let's get to the summary. How will we process this? So both are list of dictionaries, but I can process it. Summary is an empty dictionary. So there are three cases here, right? The first case, like there is a friend that has paid as well as owes. There is a friend who has only paid, so that will appear in this. There is a friend who has only owed, that will only appear in this list. So all the three cases, if we can convert it into a suitable data structure, for example, so I'm writing it down. I'll explain once I understand. But yeah. A owes 300 INR. B owes 500 INR. Right, and then maybe this list is A has 100 INR. C has 500 INR. Okay, so this is the case. If you could see. So if you see that like one list has A, B, the other list has AC, and I have converted into a dictionary of dictionaries. So we can easily do that here. And but how will we loop over this too? So now I will have to how do we loop over this? So there is a new dictionary to be formed. Yeah. So let's first form this dictionary for so there are some Python standard library functions that can help here, but I will do it manually for now. For ugly code, but fine. Record का credit user equal to amount will be record का amount and currency will be record का currency. Okay, so this will convert this into a dictionary, and a lot of repetition, but for now I will let it pass by. User pose. Okay, here it will become debit user. Fine. Now we have both the dictionaries that we had on paper. Now unique friends equal to set of user code to user dict dot keys dot add user pose dict dot keys. Nice. So this will give you a set of for friend, friend, friend in unique friends, right? We will start doing the summary. Once we get the summary, it's very, very straightforward. So first we'll check if friend in. So if friend code to user and friend in pose user roles, right? Which means the first case where he also owes to the user and user owes them. So there are both kinds of records. So in that case, we can say summary of this friend is, I'll just do a string for now. Friend owes. Okay, we'll first have to find out the subtract both the things. Owed to user dict of friend minus user owes to friend, right? So this will give us the net amount owed to user if owed to user is less than 0, which means summary of friend you owe this guy whatever you owe friend amount amount owed to user else, right? Friend owes you this, and this would be elif owed to user greater than 0, and else summary of friend, you are even with, you're even. That's it. We are getting somewhere, right? We're building stuff. And then how do we test this? So we'll have the other case, else elif friend in ode to user, which means then elif friend, else will be the last case where, right? We have to get this summary working in 5 minutes. Okay. Which means ode to user, right? Ode to user dict. Again, I made the mistake. This should both be ticked, otherwise it won't work. And we will have hard time catching this. And then again, this one as well. That's why you choose better names. Amount equal to summary of friend is equal to owed to user, right? This guy owes. Friend owes you amount. Now the final one, amount equal to owes, user owes dict of friend of amount, summary of friend equal to you owe this friend amount. Fine, all the 3 cases, and then finally we return the summary. Okay. So instead of session user, what I will do right now is I will create a separate function, get summary for user, users str. Why I did this is because I want to test it from console. From batwara.app dot import get summary for user, and I want to get the summary for build with gmail.com. Okay, let's fix it. Sum of amount as amount as amount. We should have done this. Auto reload. Okay, credit. See how many errors we have made here. Unhashable dict keys. Unhashable list. Ha ha ha. Okay, the error was not that, but this should have been converted to set. Unhashable type set. Oh, add no. Dot union. Unnecessarily complicated the code. So yeah, let's see. Friend 2 owes you 300. Friend 1 owes you 550. 300. Yes, correct. This 500 plus 250, like minus 250. Total 800, right? 800 minus 250 is 550. Very correct. And we'll take a break here. Okay. Anybody still with me or just me coding? So yeah, before going on a break, we were able to get this summary thing working. And just for testing purposes, I assigned it to a string, but we have to just give the data back, let the front end do the formatting, etc. Okay. So what we'll do is for friend in unique friends, this, that. Okay. So, okay, what structure of data do we return here? So we want a dictionary where net amount, right, will be this ode to user. Type will be code. Or should we do minus plus? That won't be that intuitive for the front end. Here we are both, but thinking from a general point of view. So we can say parapa parapa. Should we again fall back to credit debit? In expected in. Okay. Expected in that this doesn't sound good. To receive to, oh yeah, that is better. To receive, right? Uh, net amount to receive. You owe, right? Okay, this is different. To give. Cool. Cool. And this one will become to receive. And in front end, we can use this to display the message. You are even. So this can be net amount 0 is fine, but settled up, settled even. Friend owes you. Okay, friend owes you, which means to receive. Amount. Okay. And here you owe friend, which means to send. Cool, cool, cool. Now if I go back and get the summary, you will see friend 1, 550 rupees to receive, friend 2 to receive both. And now let's do some transactions where we somehow owe, right? And that can be done if friend 3 pays for friend 2 and that amount is 3000. Test expense, submit. Two ledger entities got created. Let's get the summary again. Frappe.delete.comment. Yeah. So see, now this friend 3, we have to send 1000 rupees, which means our thing is working properly, and we can write a unit test just to be sure. But I did a lot of problematic coding here that we can remove. Yeah. Let's check if it still works as expected. Yes. Okay. So now we can call this API from the front end. Get summary for session user. Let's jump back to our front end now. Or should we do a commit feed API to get summary? Okay. Dashboard. Let's get create resource. Okay, and let's open up dashboard here. Is the front end running? Yes, it is. Bad dot localhost 80. Am I live?